Welcome back, everyone, to episode 4 of Black Women in Business, The Dirty Truth. Again, we are here on a Wednesday. This is episode 4. If you've missed 1 through 3, go back, check those out. They are fire. You do not want to miss some of those conversations. They get referenced, and you might be like, what is she talking about? They're good. I promise. Go and check those out. We appreciate you for tuning in with us live on this Wednesday evening. If you're catching this in replay, please still interact with us. We would love to have your input, your dialogue with us on this. Just hashtag replay so that we know that we didn't chit chat back with you or answer any questions that you might have while we were live. So today's is a big one. If you are part of network marketing, matter of fact, just running a business, period, this might be a little bit of a trigger spot. It might hit you hard because this is a tough one. This is one that I see a lot, like just in comments of posts or in other kind of like business chats when I get on trainings. I see it a lot. And so we're going to be talking about spousal support, partner support, support at home, like family support, those people that you're like, they're going to always have my back. And then you jump into this big life-changing thing and maybe you feel like they don't have you like you thought they would. Maybe it's just a little bit like, wait, what happened? So we want to tackle both sides of that because it doesn't. There are some people, and I know a few ladies whose spouses and partners have never gotten on board and are still like, no, this ain't it. And then some come around, and then others right out the gate have that amazing support, that amazing understanding. So if you're on either side in the middle, this conversation is for everybody, even the fellas or partners. Tune in because maybe you'll hear something that'll help you be able to, step it up a little bit and make your entrepreneur feel loved and supported in the way that they want. So ladies, let's jump into it. Y'all interact with us in the comments. Drop your like, yes, girl, because he be cutting up or she be cutting up, whatever the case is. We love to hear from you. So let's get it.
Okay. Like I said, I have a lot to say, and I mentioned in episode 3 of how my husband, who wants to be my husband because he does not listen to me, and he is more reactive than anything. Like I told you, my son had all these health problems.
Release it, girl.
My son had all these health problems, and the health problems that my son had, my husband had too. And so it was tough saying, hey, there's an oil for that. We don't have to use this anymore. And he's like, no, but I know this works and we don't want to play with this. I'm like, but I use this on him too. And this worked just is fine. Mm-hmm. And then when Young Living came out with, oh, you can put your spouses on your account and you get 2 accounts and all this, I was like, okay, maybe if I show that he can make some money with this, maybe he'll jump on it. And no, that didn't work either. And so I don't know, just trying to get him to do right. Like the other day, he had an opportunity. We take baths with soap from Young Living. We brush our teeth and all this type of stuff. Everything is Young Living in this house. And he had the opportunity to share with someone because they watched a video of mine. What is your wife into? Oh yeah, she has oils. Did you not tell her about the toothpaste? Did you not tell her that you just took a shower this morning with the soap? Oh man, I didn't even think about that because I do this every day. And I said, yeah, you're like my walking billboard. You're supposed to tell people about this stuff. And he doesn't get it yet. 5 years later, we're still having the same conversation. Yeah, you use this stuff every day. You tell people about it because they just think it's oils and supplements and they don't think about a personal care need. I'm gonna need him to step up because, like I said, he gonna be my husband. He gonna be my husband in a minute.
Is he on the socials too?
Yes, he is.
Okay, let's tag him. Somebody tag him.
Your wife
Tag
knows
him.
My mother-in-law watches this stuff. Don't she know how he is? She know. You told mama how he is. That's your baby.
Tag him. I know Mr. Mott's probably in the room over there somewhere. He ready to hear. He like, I'm waiting. Let Dayna say the wrong thing on here.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
I don't think for me, it wasn't about the products. I can say, as I know my husband will see this and he might tune in just because he will, oh, let's said spouse. Let's see what she got to say. He know I'll say it because I'm an emotional soul and it might take a couple weeks, but I'm gonna get there. It was never the products. I think that, we kind of feed off of each other and he's just like, I'll try whatever it is. And I mean, when he got that call and I was like, oh, we slept through the night. I had to make sure the baby was still breathing because he didn't wake up. I ain't feel no tug on my bra, nothing. Like, what happened? So he was like, he'll try anything. He'll be like, what do you got? And slowly, it's funny because we've all pretty much been with Young Living around the same amount of time. But it took a few years, but he'd be like, can you put something in the diffuser? Like, I think the first time he texted me and was like, can you turn this diffuser on? I think I posted it all over social media because I was like, so it was never the product. I think where any point in time that I might have felt like, dang, am I like gonna have to do this? Because you see, we have a lot of people above us. I saw a lot of people above me, people high ranking within our company that were running their business with their spouse. And I was like, oh, I would love that. Retire you. And then you come and be like a desk behind me and we do all. And then I think I'd used something when I was healing my gut. Because we talked a little bit about gut health last episode, but I was healing my gut with something. He was like, oh, we can create. I'm more like, I want to have a relationship with you. I want to talk to you. I want to hear you. And he's more like, nope, let's whip out a big old advertisement. And I'm like, I don't want to do that because I don't like that. Like people in the mall are like, excuse me, ma'am, I do like this or pretend like I'm on my phone because I don't want to engage with you because I know you're about to pitch me instead of be like, do you have crusty feet? Do you need help with your feet? Like you don't get to the point, right? You don't make me feel like I need it. And he was going at that. So I remember when that happened, I was like, no, we can't work together because you don't want to hear me when I'm like, that's not how I want to do. Like that's not my heart behind it. And I know for plenty of people that works, but that's not for me. And then it was like push and pull. And I know for me and for us, it just was I have this expectation that you should read my mind because I know what you're thinking and what you're about to say. So you need to know what it is that I'm thinking and feeling. I need you to go share my post on every social media outlet you're on. And I need you to say this. And like your husband, mine would be like, well, I just forgot. And then he got to the point where he loves the lavender lotion. So I lose a bottle all the time to him. He would go to work, put it on his desk. People would ask about it. Can I borrow some lotion, Senior McGee? Using the lotion. And he's like, them mugs was coming here for to steal it. Now I gotta hide it. So I'm like, let's do that. But it was that way for us. But I think it was more of just a misunderstanding between me not wanting to say what I needed and me assuming that his push was that he wasn't for me doing this. My husband's a numbers guy. And I know Dayna and I had this conversation because her husband's similar in that they want to hear the numbers. And I know they had a unique experience that I was like, maybe I should have took my husband to a Young Living event so he could hear, one of the OGs say this, and this. And he may have been more like, oh, I can do it. Because when I told him I was going to do the business, he did. He went and Googled, he listened to somebody do the comp plan, which has changed. All the things have changed that he looked up at some point. But he looked it up and he was like, well, numbers wise, this could be amazing. But now tell me how you're going to do it. And I was growing up at that point. I was like, no, I'm not going to make you no list. And that's not how I operate. I don't like a box. You trying to push me. But I had to remind myself that he was making an investment with me. Like my kids, they're like the biggest investors. So if I was having a bad day about it, I have to remember like he's to protect me. So those pushes sometimes where you're having a hard day, so take a step back. It wasn't necessarily him being like, no, this ain't gonna work and I don't believe in you. So a lot of it was communication, but we've had to work through like what it was that I wanted, what my vision was, and be very clear and honest that I'm not gonna run my baby the way you're gonna run your baby.
I love that. And I think for those watching, no matter again what your business is or what type of support you're looking for, communication, right?
Yeah.
So communicate very clearly what that looks like for you.
Yeah.
So if it's your spouse, if it's your kids, if it's your auntie, uncle, cousins, and you just like, I just want you to use my products, right?
Mhm.
And if you don't want to use my products, can you just share my posts? Can you just in this way support me? So I
Yeah.
think that we need to first and foremost be very clear on what it is we want from that person, right?
Yeah.
Because if we're excited about our business, they're not going to be as excited necessarily about what we have, our business and things like that. But what might happen is they might be able to refer people to you, right? Or they might be able to, once you've reminded them a few times, able to host things for you or share in a way that could still benefit your business. So with that, I will say, so, and I know we talked about this a little bit, I am super, super grateful because I do have great support from my spouse, but it wasn't always that way. So I am a dreamer, and Dayna will, like, literally, I have a notebook of buildings in my area for lease that I have called, and I like have this vision of this like cafe that I at some point want to have. Like, so Dayna can go from like here to there to there to here to there. And so because my husband knows that about me, when I was like, hey, I'm going to be using these products and whatnot, it's like, oh, okay, that's cute. Right. so, and this will go into my second thing. They have to see that you're serious about this, right? Like, if you're a person that pops from business to business to this to that, and you're popping into something new, it might not be that they don't believe in you. It just might be like they want to just make sure that you're sure with this and you're gonna stay consistent with it, right? Because they don't want to get invested with you, and then next week you're onto a whole nother company, or you're onto a whole nother business plan, or they're whatever it is, or use new products now. Now you have happy juice. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that, I promise, but it's really pissing me off right now. Anywho, whatever it is, you know what I mean? They're going to want to make sure that this is really what you're committed to doing. So I know in the beginning of our journey, so I came from a somewhat holistic background. So herbs and oils were not new to me. Like, these were things that I grew up using alongside regular medicines and things like that. I went into the beauty industry. I worked in spas. And so that was something that was a part of our practice when I worked in spas and things like that. So it wasn't new to me. So my husband knew that, you know, Dayna does her little woohoo stuff. But I hadn't met my company yet. So I was using oils, right? And I would use oils for like my different ailments or when I fell under the wellness line. But you know what else I use? Medicine. So my husband was like, well, why don't you just use the medicine and stop making my house stink, right? Like, it's like because it's like you're using these oils, but they ain't doing nothing because you're still using the medicine. You might as well just skip the middleman and just use the medicine, right?
Yeah.
So for him and his perspective, it's like, okay, but what's so great about it, right? And I know during that period of time when they first came into our household, he was under a lot of stress, and I would diffuse like things like joy. And I wish he was here to tell you, like, because when he tells a story when we teach classes, he's like, the first time I smelled joy, he's like, it smelled like booty butt cheeks. It's like, what is that horrible smell? Why would you do that? And literally, I would not diffuse when he was home. Like, which kind of pulls me to my next point. Like, don't expect more of another person than they're willing to give. You have to meet them where they are. So maybe you're super excited about your business and you're ready to go next level and you're ready for all of these things, but they're like, yeah, I'm not there yet. Like, I want to still use my whatever. I'm not there. Love them there. Don't force them to come over here when they're not ready to make that move.
Yeah, I think that that's a really good point to point. And this is why I will forever love like this here and the extended communities that are part of that. I'm going to say are unique to our company. People watching are like, no, because I got that too. And no, they're not like ours. But if your family unit, your spouse, your partner, your older kids, your mom, your dad, your sister, brother, all them peoples are not ready, I think that we have such an amazing community, or in this case, deciding if you're buddying up with, or your business partnering with Dayna or Andriana, they have communities. So that's the support that you're going to get as like a filler spot. They'll always be there, but you have that buffer until they're ready to get to that, to your family, your partner, your spouse is ready to, be like, you know what, I'm all in. I see where you're going. You're going to have that support. And I think that is crucial. I think that is huge, to have that, to have that support, that just community. I think I love it more. I mean, this year's convention was my first, because when I started with our company, I was overseas. And so, it was this year's. Yeah. Okay. I'm like into the holiday season. Y'all forgive me. But it was my first. And being there, it was like stepping into like a bubble. I went, and people I didn't even know, all of a sudden, we were like besties out here on the farm, rolling in the grass. I didn't roll in the grass, y'all, but that kind of said to me, I could have, because that grass was thick and luxurious. But I'm just saying that Dayna's, I 100% agree with that. Sometimes people are just not ready. They're just not in that place, and they'll get there eventually. I'm not really sure, how long. My husband, like I said, was always like, I'm good with the products. He's seen it. He's had, seasonal issues, and we've done all of that. And he sees it, because my youngest has been nothing but an oil baby. So that's all he knows. And you just see those differences in the crazy, like temper tantrum, pull out Peace and Common, and sit there and watch this kid go from 2 million to, and you get that look like, did that just happen? Or my dog, who's crazy, who will sniff from the bottle and then just go sit on her bed. Like, it's legit. But if they're not ready, you do have community, you do have support. And I think find that outlet, find that, not even, I won't even call it temporary, because it'll be long-term as long as you're there, but find that stand-in until they're ready, until they can meet you where you're at, or elevate with you, whatever the case may be. I love that.
My next thing is going into what y'all said. Meeting them where they're at. Okay, if I give you something and you come back and tell me, oh, well, I enjoyed this. This worked so wonderful for me. And this is your mama, grandma, sister, cousin, whoever. And then the next time, oh, well, what did you say I used for this again? Wait, wasn't it just last week I gave you this? Why didn't you go back to this? I met you where you were. I gave you something. Why you coming to me? I'm sorry, y'all. Is
this a hypothetical, or
asking for a friend?
I mean, I just don't understand. I met you where you were. I gave you what you needed. We were being reactive, of course, but hey, it's okay. It worked. And now next week you coming back. What did I use for this again? How do I use this? Did it not stick last week when I gave it to you? Okay. Am I the only person to deal with that?
No, but so the one thing I will say to that is you are trying to undo in one setting a programming that may have been with somebody for 50 some, 60 some years.
Yeah.
Right. So there's times, as long as I've been with Young Living, that I will walk around with a headache or walk around tired and be like, man, I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. Maybe it's my hormones. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. And then my husband would be like, have you taken your Ninja Red? Oh, no, I haven't. And then I take it and I'm like, oh, so much better. Great. And so when it's not somebody's everyday yet, they might need you to walk alongside them for a little bit longer. They need to continue to have those moments where like, oh yeah, that did work. And it might even be like, literally, I wish I could take the camera and flip it this way. Like, I just have oils in front of me everywhere. If you guys, like, seriously, they're everywhere, right? Like, my arms reach, so I'm gonna grab this too. When I walk around, I use my fanny pack that has oils in it. There's oils everywhere. So if I'm just sitting waiting for something, I'm looking through my stuff like, I haven't used any oil today. Let me put some on, right?
Yeah.
It's the continued education. You have to continue to get them in front of the right people. And the other thing I would say, some people, they're not ever going to really get on the oils like that. You might need to get them on supplements. You might need to get them on something that they can easily, okay, I know I can drink something every day because I'm going into my kitchen making my coffee or doing whatever anyways. So I might need something tangible that I can actually, I will say, even with my husband, he has maybe like 2 or 3 oils that are like his go-tos that he carries around with him. I think Idaho Blue Spruce, Digest, I can't even think of the third one. But it's the supplements that he loves. He'll carry his little grocery bag full of supplements to work, and he will take his supplements because he knows how it makes him feel.
Yeah.
If they leave the supplements at home and they out and about, but what they got in their purse is some aspirin, they're gonna take their aspirin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what they used to.
Yeah, that's on point. Because I'm with Dayna. It's just funny. I was sitting here today, like, yo, I know I'm getting up super early, trying to get used to my schedule. But, yo, I don't feel tired. I feel fatigued. What is going on? And then down there, making my little coffee with collagen, and I'm like, I don't think I've had my first nitro for the day. Like, let me go ahead and take that. It's an undoing, and it's an undoing that can be hard. And two, it's based on personality. I think Dayna opened up the other side to meeting people where they're at. You have to understand what that person is like personality wise. And if they're family, you're able to be like, I know you, and I know I got to call you every day and say, did you drink? Until they get used to it into a pattern. And some people, unfortunately, you have to do until the sun sets. But knowing them, you can do those things. I mean, I know for me, I'm like Dayna, because I've never been a huge medication person or a pill popper, that I can get a headache and I'll be like, I'm just gonna go lay down, and know that I can sit normally with a thing of deep relief or something and just lay there and be good. But I'm used to doing that, and sometimes I do. My husband will come in, you need me to get you anything? What oil do you need? No, just turn the light off. I'm good. Even given this is somebody who has legit used them for years. And I'm just like, just turn the light off. Nobody talk to me. Leave me alone. And then you get up and your body's like, child, go in that room and get that dang on oil and stop playing with me. It's just, that's the other part of meeting them that they're at. Instead of giving it to them, they need the extra. And that's part of it. But you get to be their community. And I love that because, I'm all about the love, y'all.
Yeah.
All about the love.
Yes. I love that community piece too. And honestly and truthfully, if you have not found yours yet, keep looking. You know what I mean? I know another piece that connects all of us. We are part of NIB International, which I love that platform as well, because it's a space for entrepreneurs of all sorts. Sometimes you might find in your industry, maybe you own an event space, right? And you network and you chat with other event space owners, but you might need to go talk to that salon owner, or you might need to go talk to that realtor, because some of the things that they're experiencing in their industry, you might be able to bring over to yours. And you might be able to bounce some things off of people. So if you don't feel like you're getting the support from the people you want, it might be simply they're not ready, and you need to find the people that are ready.
Yeah, we just talked about it. Well, I won't say just. We 4 weeks deep. All right, y'all, it's been a month. It's been a month. But episode 1, we talked about the support. And this is that other piece. Ladies, I'm specifically talking to us at this point because I don't know too many fellas that have that problem. Like, I think men just generally are like, hey, do you know this person that can help me do this? Have no problem. Ladies, we'd be like, I'm gonna figure it out myself. Leave me alone. But you have that community piece, and organizations like MIB or your friends, whatever business they're running, their community can be amazing, amazing outlets for that and amazing support systems. So don't give up. Find yours. If you're running a business, thinking about running a business, there are platforms everywhere that are people just thinking about running businesses, places to ping off, mom groups, ladies going through menopause. I saw one of those recently too. So there are groups for literally everything, like under the sun. We can be your support. Like, this is the whole reason that we came together and decided to do this, because like I said, when we did our introduction, and I probably said it in episode 1, maybe even more, like, we want to stand in those gaps. We realize that they're there, and support doesn't always come from the places that we want it to. And that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to quit and step away. You just got to find it elsewhere. And you have people. At least you have 3 right here. I'm telling you.
Hey, come join us.
Like, we support you through.
The other thing I'll say is, if it doesn't exist, you might need to be the trailblazer to create it.
Right.
That's another piece that I felt like, and for the longest, I'll be honest, I wanted my husband to fill a certain void within our industry where I'm like, look, we can be like the dynamic couple and the this and the that, you know what I mean? And that was my vision. That wasn't his vision, right? Like, so for him, granted, he teaches most of our classes, right? He is the one that does most of the communication between my leaders and our customers and all of those things. But that's what he wants to do, right? And so, again, you might see a void, and you might know in your heart that there needs to be more people like you on stage. So you need to be the first one to go.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Come together, connect, find those places where you can get with like-minded people. It's all about the community and the connections and the support. So get out and support.
Yeah. I mean, I think Dayna mentioned it. It might have been in the intro that she's super bubbly. Like, if you first meet Dayna, you're like, there's no way that she's introverted. I hear it too. But when Dayna was like, look, I got the mic and was like, I'm afraid of y'all here, I was like, yep, I feel you. Because they could have passed me the mic and I'd have been like, nope, I'm okay. I don't want to introduce myself. Or I do. You stand in the back of the rooms and it can be misconstrued as something. But look, she's here. I'm here. Andriana's here, like, killing it. Huge communities and huge inspirations to so many women out there doing their things, wanting to do their things, waiting for the right time. You can find it. And if you can't find it, build it, and they will come. They will come.
The last thing I want to say, because I know we're going to wrap this up, is be successful and make money. So if your spouse don't support you yet, once you start making them checks in that bank, then he gonna have to respect you.
Right. Yeah, for sure, because that translates. Yeah. That translates. And on that note, it's definitely a topic that we are going to cover, all about the money. It's a hard one. I get it. So I know somebody cringed when she said that, because we all got our own relationships. So make sure that you tune in next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. I got it right on the first time, for episode 5. We will see you then. And we thank you for kicking it with us over this last month. We wish you love, happiness, and wellness. And we'll see you next week.